Mercedes-Benz Malaysia today expands the EQ lineup with the arrival of the EQS 450. With an improved battery pack and range, as well as a slightly more accessible price point, Mercedes-Benz is confident that the new EQS SUV will appeal to an even wider variety of customers than ever before. My name is AIMAN ABDULLAH, this is Malaysian Motoring, and this is our launch coverage of the new Mercedes-Benz EQS 450 SUV. Now, the Mercedes-Benz EQS 450 is a lower variant of the EQS SUV that we saw before, which was the 580. As a result, this car now retails at 625,888 ringgit, making it 74,000 ringgit more affordable compared to the previous model. Now, what is worth noting about that is that there have been significant updates to the electric powertrain. So, the battery is now an improved size, 118 kilowatts, up from 107 previously, and AC charging has been improved from 11 kilowatts to 22 kilowatts, reducing your overall charge time to about 6 hours 15 minutes. DC charging remains 200 kilowatts, which means 10 to 80% can be achieved in just 31 minutes. Now, as I mentioned, the powertrain itself has also been reworked, so now this is rated for 360 PS and 800 Newton meters of torque, which is significantly lower than the EQS 580. However, the 0 to 100 sprint time is still completed in 6.1 seconds, which is plenty fast enough for what is ultimately a three-row family SUV. But because of the reduced potency of that powertrain, it does mean that driving range has been improved to 673 kilometers on the WLTP cycle, which is over 50 kilometers more than the outgoing variant. But a lot of other features of the EQS have been retained, even though this is ultimately a more accessible variant. So up front, we still get the digital matrix LED headlights replete with adaptive high beam functionality. We still get these gorgeous large alloy wheels, which look stunning and have an incredible design and look very good against this particular black model. Now, the EQS 450 SUV is available in Malaysia exclusively as an AMG line model, just like the EQS 580, which means we get a more aggressive front end, there's more aggressive wheels, as I mentioned earlier. You get these integrated built-in side steps, which are always there. They're non-deployable, they just live there. And overall, I will say this is a pretty decent looking car. At the back, we still get the 3D Helix tail lights, which look fantastic when they're lit up at night, and overall this does look decently distinctive for what is ultimately one of the largest electric SUVs currently available on the market. Now, because the EQS is a three-row family SUV, that does mean that there is a huge amount of practicality. So with the rear seats folded, you can see there is an acre of storage back here. Plenty of space for 5 people's worth of luggage. There are also air conditioning vents and other amenities for third row passengers, which means that life is pretty comfortable, although there are no ISOFIX mounts. And underneath the boot floor, you will find not only space for you to hide your charging cables, but also space for the parcel shelf, which means that you can cover whatever might be over the third row in your cargo area when you're traveling. Now, if you want to deploy these seats, there are actually buttons here that allow them to be deployed electrically. Now, for some reason, they don't appear to be working the way I want them to, for reasons I really cannot comprehend at the moment. But they do fold up, I promise. And then there's still a decent amount of space with the third row up. It goes up to about here. I don't understand these seats. The inside of the EQS 450 is just as nice as what we saw from the 580, which means that we still get the huge hyper screen that Mercedes-Benz makes available in its upper end EQ models. As a result, we get a 12.3-inch screen up ahead of me for instrumentation, 12.3 inches in front of the passenger for various functionalities, and then this massive thing up here that controls the majority of the car's functions. Now, through this, you have what's known as a zero-layer interface. What that means is adjusting all the various functionalities of the car can be done with only one press at most. This has made the MBUX system a lot easier to live with, and it means that consumers are a lot faster to recognize and understand how to use the car properly, which I think is a pretty good deal. Now, up ahead of me sits a usual Mercedes-Benz AMG style steering wheel, which is leather wrapped with a bunch of touch capacitive buttons on the steering wheel, which I don't like. But at least you do have some nice metal paddle shifters, and everything in here feels nice and comfortable. Now, beyond that, in terms of practicality, you have this huge storage area under here. You get a couple of cup holders, USB-C ports, your charging ports, etc. You also get a very deep center console, about as deep as my arm. And of course, you get electrically adjustable seats on either side with memory functionality, heating and ventilation, which is all very good. You also get a 77-inch full heads-up display, full color, I might add, which gives you all of the pertinent information as well as your navigational functions, etc., all directly in your line of sight, which means you barely have to look down at this screen at all. Now, because this is an EQS, it does mean that comfort is a really big factor in this car. So in addition to all the surfaces being very nice and soft to touch, etc., we also get these lovely soft cushiony pillows up here, which is always nice to rest your head on. You also get a full panoramic sunroof as standard, which means that the interior of this car feels as upmarket as you'd expect from something bearing an S badge and a Mercedes-Benz three-pointed star. Now, as I'm sat back here, you may be wondering where all the space went. Given the fact that I'm only 170 centimeters and the front seat is out in my driving position, you'd assume that there would be a little bit more space. But the second row seats are powered just like the fronts, which means that I can push this a little bit further back and increase legroom should I want to. But because this is an SUV, it means that the front seats are set up high enough that I can tuck my feet in underneath the seat in front of me, so there is always space for me to stretch out. I have very good under-thigh support, as you can see here. With the center console deployed, I also have a tablet, or there should be a tablet here for me to control functionalities. But if I don't want to use that, I still have this screen here, which allows me to not only control my entertainment functions, but also my climate control, as well as the blinds, etc. All of these things work to my advantage, including this wireless charging pad that lives here in the center console. Now, in the second row, there is no ventilated seats, only heating. But I still think that living back here should be quite comfortable because you have air conditioning vents in the B pillar, as well as down here. You have your separate air conditioning controls here, if that's what you want. And of course, you do have this touchscreen up ahead of me to control your comfort functions, energizing, etc., your various different modes, as well as the beautiful ambient lighting setup that comes almost as standard in most Mercedes-Benz cars now. Now, in addition to being able to move the base of the seat, I can also adjust the recline angle, which means that again, when paired with these beautiful soft pillows, I could very comfortably take a nap back here. Now, if you do want to use this as a family car, the third row in this vehicle is now manual compared to the EQS 580, which was powered. As a result, we have realized it's a bit of palaver to try and pull them up and stow them away because we really cannot make heads or tails of it. But from what we recall from the EQS 580, life back there is a little bit cramped because the seats are mounted quite low, so you don't have under-thigh support. So it's best to think of this car as a 5+2 rather than outright 7-seater, which is what the Kia EV9 is. Now, being a flagship Mercedes, the EQS 450 comes as standard with every possible safety feature you can think of, which means you get full level 2 semi-autonomy, including traffic jam assist, radar guided cruise control, lane keep assist, lane departure alert, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, 360-degree cameras, and a variety of other things, all made to make you safe and to remove or reduce the stresses and burden of driving and leave it to the car. Now, Mercedes-Benz has some of the best ADAS functionalities in the automotive industry, which means that these are functions that we would trust, especially out a long drive. Now, the EQS 450 SUV is available at dealerships across the country with, again, prices starting at a little bit over 600,000 ringgit, making it far more accessible than the 580 that precedes it. This comes with the usual warranty and service package as offered by Mercedes-Benz Malaysia, as well as the extended warranty package for the battery and drivetrains. Let us know what you think about the new updated EQS 450 4MATIC AMG line. Yes, that is its full name. Do you think that there should be a slightly catchier name to that? And more importantly, do you think that this would be your choice for a large electric family SUV? Let us know in the comment section below. In any case, that concludes our launch coverage of the new Mercedes-Benz EQS 450 SUV. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified every time we make a new upload. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can join our new WhatsApp channel. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you in the next one. Take care and stay safe.